Good evening and a very warm welcome to this hour's English news package with radio and television Tonga news for tonight. Making headlines, Prime Minister Ho'akawame Liku leads Tonga's delegation to international meetings the next 2 weeks. Body of the late Agricultural Minister Honorable Viliami Manoa Pangai Hingano arrived from New Zealand today. And the Tongan community in New Zealand to hold a whānau tomorrow following a recent gang violence. We'll have these and more stories later on in the bulletin, including the latest news from sports and the weather update for the hour. Now for the stories in detail. The Honourable Prime Minister Ho'akawame Liku will lead Tonga's delegation to Tonga international meeting over the next 2 weeks. The delegation will first travel to Rwanda for the Commonwealth Heads of Government Meeting 2022, which takes place next week before making their way to Portugal for the United Nations Oceans Conference the following week. Tonga's delegation includes Minister for Foreign Affairs and Tourism Honourable Fekita Moiloa Utoikamanu, Minister for Economic Development and Trade Honourable Dr. Viliami Latu, Chief Secretary and Secretary to Cabinet Mr. Edgar Koka, Director of Health Dr. Siale Akauola and Leonaita Sikuluni, the Deputy Secretary for Foreign Affairs. And they will be joined by Tonga's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Honourable Fani Tupova Utivakano, and Tonga's Ambassador in New York, His Excellency Viliami Va'ingatone. The Deputy Prime Minister, Honourable Boaste, will act on Prime Minister Ho'akawame Liku's absence. Tonga Met Office had issued a heavy damaging swirl warning for Ha'apai, Tongatapu, Eua, Telekitonga and Telekitokelau coastal waters. Also an extreme high tide advisory for all of Tonga coastal waters. The warning follows a full moon last night, where some islands such as Eua recorded sea level rising. The full moon incident not only happened in Tonga but in Fiji as well, as seen in pictures and videos circulating online. Alice Tupo takes up that story.
The warning follows a full moon last night where some islands such as Eua recording sea level rising. The full moon incident not only happened in Tonga but in Fiji as well, as seen in pictures and videos circulating online. The director of Tonga Met Office, Ofafanunu, says the king tide recorded in Eua last night was caused by the full moon. What occurred in Eua happened as a result of the full moon. Whenever there's a full moon, the level of the sea increases from its usual, and at the same time, there's a swirl, meaning the waves coming in from New Zealand travels north, and that is why Tonga and Fiji are affected and will continue on to be like that, especially at the time when the sea is on low tide. So that is why we are issuing this warning. This is not the first time it happened in Eua. It has happened in other areas in Tonga and will always happen every time there is a full moon. Meanwhile, the government representative of Eua, Lolomana Iafili, reported to radio and television Tonga News yesterday the situation of the incident on the island. There was a rise in the sea level last night, which we did not expect, and I noticed the strong currents and the sea crashed into the shore at the wharf, and there were no major impacts, just small rocks that it thrown across, but now the waves has slowly downgraded, and so now small boats have been issued warnings not to go out to sea for safety reasons. Whanunu understands that there are many people who are panicking and have fear over the incident, with many still traumatized by the January 15th event. However, he encouraged them to stay indoors and for those from the coastal areas to move to higher ground when possible, especially those in Eua and those living in Sesia and Papua. Meanwhile, the MV Maui was set to travel to Eua yesterday, but was postponed due to the king tides recorded on the island of Eua. Reporting for radio and television Tonga News, I'm Alice Tupo.
The body of the late Minister for Agriculture, Food and Forestry, Honourable Viliami Manoa Pangai Hingano, arrived from New Zealand today before making his way to Uiha Ha'apai next week. The Honourable Prime Minister Ho'akawame Liku told reporters the government will have its final formality ceremony to pay tribute and respect next Tuesday evening. The following morning, Hingano will then make his way in the Voyanga House Siliva to Ha'apai for his funeral service in his home island Uiha. Huakavame Liku also confirmed flags will be flown at half-mast on Thursday, June the 23rd as a mark of respect for the late Honourable Hingano as one of its cabinet ministers. However, Hingano died at age 47 and survived by his wife Hannah and 2 sons. There is a great concern by teachers and principals on the overall safety of the students in schools, particularly health issues. The concern is because there are some parents who send their sick children to school, which concerns the schools. Malia Kutinpil has more on that story.
Speaking to Radio Tonga News this morning, the principal of Hilliard Memorial School, Catalina Matui, says they are hoping to cooperate with parents to ensure their child's health before sending them off to school. She says some parents still insist on sending their children to school after being told to take them home, after discovering their temperature was higher than the normal temperature level. She adds some of the students in class 1, 2 and 3 were confirmed with COVID-19 and all of these classes have been told to stay home until they are fully recovered. Meanwhile, at DePaul College, the school have been COVID-19 free as they have not recorded any students with COVID-19 since their resumption on Monday this week. The senior tutor of DePaul College, Reverend Tuluta Fisihoi, says more than 90 students were tested positive with COVID-19 on the week before to last week, in which they imposed a strict lockdown to the school. Those who tested positive were mostly the lower forms, and one of them got really sick from COVID-19. And that student was unvaccinated. That is why we ask the parents to make sure their children are vaccinated from COVID-19 because the rest of the students will be affected. And that will be a struggle for us here in trying to maintain the COVID-19 restrictions in the school. I'm also happy with the cooperation from some parents. Some of them have called in saying their child has a fever or is coughing or have any of the symptoms that they are most likely to have COVID-19, so I thank them for that. As the tutors of the school are trying to maintain the COVID-19 in school, they are banning the parents from visiting or entering the school premises during the week unless for important matters. About 700 students are currently studying in Toloa. However, it is understood that Form 1 and 2 students are still studying from home, so to maintain the COVID-19 restrictions.
And Tongan community leaders of Auckland is calling for peace and gang shooting and violence to stop ahead of Matema Tonga upcoming test match with Kiwi New Zealand next week, June the 25th. There will be a whānau or community meeting tomorrow morning, Friday the 17th, regarding the matter. Alice Tupo with the details.
There will be a whānau or community meeting of leaders tomorrow, Friday the 17th. It has been long overdue, but doing this whānau will address this problem with community leaders in raising awareness before something happens, as gang shootings and violence needs to stop before it affects the warm spirit inside Matema Tonga's supporters getting ready for the game at the Mount Smart Stadium. It has been going on for 2 to 3 weeks of these gang shootings with Tongan communities. Speaking to radio and to television Tonga News, the Secretary of Akiheuho, Aotearoa Tongan Health Workers Association, Pakilau Manaselua, says one of these whānau's purposes is to ensure that Tongan communities are safe and well protected as they are preparing for the Matema Tonga game next week.
From experience, we know that our communities have the passion and the heart to really push and drive the support base here. And the concern is that we have quite a lot of gang tensions at the moment, particularly in South Auckland, that we want to try to address, but also to ensure that our fans act in a safe manner to ensure their own safety and health and protection during, especially next week, as we support and provide the visual support to our fans, to our players as they arrive and as they train for the big game on Saturday. That's the reason why we want to call this meeting, to listen to the concerns on the ground from our families, and especially to give our young people a platform to share with all of us, especially the leaders, some ideas around how to ensure the safety of our communities.
He adds that the whānau will be held at Mangere Central Community Hall tomorrow, the 17th of June, starting at 8 p.m. New Zealand local time, and all are invited.
At this meeting, we've invited, although it's primarily focused on our Tongan community, we are opening that up for anyone who wants to come and help or just wants to listen and observe. But the request is that we don't want a police presence or heavy presence of officials or government agencies here. No, that's not the purpose of this meeting. This meeting is a community meeting amongst family. Even the gang members are our families, whether we like it or not. These young people are from our homes. They have mothers, fathers, aunties, brothers, sisters, grandparents in our communities. They are known to us. We know that they are involved in these activities, and we're not hiding the fact that they are involved in these shootings as well. As you may have heard in Tonga, there are two gangs that are currently at war, all started by the shooting of the president of one of the gangs by a Tongan. And you may have heard also the killing of a mother 2 years ago in Favona by Tongans as well. We've had recent deportations from Australia, including the president of an Australian gang who's come over to New Zealand and who is currently in custody. He is also Tongan. So the Tongans are involved in many of these aspects of the gangs, and we are not hiding away from the fact, we're confronting it, but also in a way that is promoting peace and to ensure that the gangs respect the communities that they come from and that we have a peaceful resolution so that our people can go out in safety without fear next week and enjoy the atmosphere, show the passion for the NNC.
If effective, the whānau meeting will continue in the future to address various issues faced by the Tongan communities in Auckland. Reporting for Radio and Television Tonga News, I'm Arisi Tupo.
That was the latest from local scene with Tonga Development Bank.
Tonga Development Bank does not charge you levy for using its currency exchange or DD services.
Sports is up next, brought to you with thanks to the kind sponsorship of Pacific Timber and Hardware. Welcome back. Now the latest news from sports for the hour. On local sports, the Honourable Prime Minister Ho'akaumi Liko has confirmed that contact sports can be played after Saturday this week. This follows 5 months of restrictions due to the impacts of the high rate of COVID-19 infection in Tonga, and it needs to minimize the spread of the virus through contact forms. Contact sports includes touch rugby, boxing, hockey, football, volleyball, netball, and to name a few. Ho'akaumi Liko added, intercollegiate sports competitions are now allowed and will be up to the various sports associations in Tonga if they'll host sports competition this year or delayed for next year. From Rugby League, the New South Wales State of Origin players Daniel Tupou and Kotoni Staggs have been both named in Tonga's side to take on New Zealand in the upcoming Test match. But according to reports, Staggs and Tupou have committed to the Blues for Game 2nd. According to media reports, Fox News and Daily Telegraphs and even the New South Wales state media says both players have declared their preference to play for New South Wales and coach Brett Fittler. Yesterday, Christian Wolf named a 25-man squad for the Mate Ma'a Tonga side with the 2 Origin stars included. Meanwhile, under the eligibility laws, Tonga is classed as a Tier 2 nation, which allows players to represent both their state and country. However, their clash with the Kiwis is the night before the second Origin game. The decision is now up to both players on whether they want to play for Tonga in New Zealand or turn out for the Blues in Perth, with both opting to represent their state. However, the Prime Minister Ho'akaumi Liko says in a press conference yesterday, although Tupou and Staggs are named in the Mate Ma'a Tonga squad, if either of them are not selected in Fittler's team, they'll likely represent their country instead. And lastly, from boxing, the unbeaten Australian heavyweight Justice Huni was able to stay focused after his home was riddled with bullets last week to widely outpoint a countryman Joseph Goodwall over 10 rounds and claims the vacant OPPF title at the Nissan Arena in Nathan, Brisbane. Huni boxed well on the back foot and controlled much of the action, keeping Courtwell honest with his power. The 23-year-old Huni sustained a cut in the 5th round, but the round never threatened to cost him the fight, and his own punches caused Courtwell's left eye to swell in the 6th round. At the conclusion of the bout, Huni was awarded winner after a lopsided 10-round anonymous decision, 100-90, 98-92, and 98-93 points. That is your latest news from sports with Pacific Timber and Hardware. Now the latest weather bulletin issued from the Tonga Meteorological Services from Whaamotu.
The current weather situation, an east to southeasterly wind flow still prevails over Tonga, and it is expected to gradually increase later this weekend. And the forecast to midnight tomorrow for Tonga for the newest in Vava'u, light to moderate east to southeasterly winds, fresh at times with mainly fine conditions over Vava'u. Apart from the newest will be cloudy at times with some developing occasional showers and possibly heavy at times. And for the rest of Tonga, light to moderate east to southeast winds, then become fresh by tomorrow afternoon, with mainly fine conditions apart from some cloudy periods with isolated showers. The forecast temperature expected for whole of Tonga would be expecting a maximum temperature of around 28 to 30 degrees Celsius, while the minimum for tonight will be around 19 to 25 degrees Celsius. And for the marine weather bulletin with the warnings for the coastal waters, a heavy damaging swirl remains in force for Tongatapu, Ewa, Teleki Tonga and Teleki Tokelau coastal waters. Also, an extreme high tide advisory still remains for all of Tongan coastal waters. And lastly, a small craft advisory still remains for the coastal waters of Vava'u, Ha'apai, Tongatapu, Ewa, Teleki Tonga and Teleki Tokelau. And the forecast midnight tomorrow for Tongan coastal waters for Tongatapu, Ewa, Teleki Tonga and Teleki Tokelau coastal waters. East to southeast winds of 10-15 knots can rise up to 20 knots at times, especially over Teleki Tonga and Teleki Tokelau this evening, then Tongatapu and Ewa by tomorrow afternoon, with slight to moderate seas of up to 2 meters wave height and a heavy damaging southwesterly swirl of up to 3 to 4 meters wave height, and it is expected to affect some of the low-lying coastal areas, especially during extreme high tide, which is tomorrow morning at 8:30. And for Vava'u and Ha'apai, east to southeasterly winds of 10-15 knots then rise up to 20 knots at times, with moderate seas of up to 2 meters wave height and a moderate southwesterly swirl of up to 3 meters. And for the newest coastal waters, east to southeasterly winds of 10 to 20 knots, with moderate seas of up to 2 meters and a moderate southwesterly swirl of up to 2.5 meters wave height. And the prediction for Nuku'alofa, low tide will be at 20 minutes past 2 early tomorrow morning, while high tide will be at 8:30 tomorrow morning as mentioned. Sun and moon, sunrise will be at 7:15 tomorrow morning, while moonset will be at 10 minutes to 9 tomorrow morning as well. And now we finish it up with the 6-day forecast for Nuku'alofa. We expect a fresh to strong easterly winds for this weekend, then turning northerly by next week as a trough approaches the group early next week, but this week will be mainly fine over Tongatapu and Ewa, same as today. And the forecast temperature expected for Nuku'alofa will be around 25 to 28 degrees Celsius maximum, and the minimum will be around 21 to 24 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity will be around 75 to 95%.
That wraps up this evening's English news package, but before we part, let's have one final look at today's top stories. Prime Minister Ho'akawa Liku leads Tonga's delegations to international meetings the next 2 weeks. Body of the late Agricultural Minister Honourable Viliami Manoa Pangai Hingano arrived from New Zealand today, and the Tongan community in New Zealand will hold a whānau tomorrow following a recent gang violence. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Paula. Have a pleasant evening.